Tonight I'm going to give you guys a speech about what a Spanish immersion school is, how many people in the United States know Spanish, and why children should be taught Spanish or any other language at a younger age. Spanish Immersion is a public school that uses two languages to teach the subjects of the school. These schools are taught the same way any other school is. Most of these schools use English and Spanish. They may also use French, German, Chinese, or any other foreign language, including American Sign Language. It just depends on where the school is located and the kind of school it is. Many of these schools in Canada would use French instead of Spanish. Their reasoning is because the province of Quebec is in Canada and their main language is French. This video from the teachingchannel.org can show how this works from inside one of these schools. Alright. There you go.
When you walk down the hallway, you could be in any Spanish-speaking country.
Y todos los partes de agua.
So you're going to hear Spanish throughout the building. And we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Buenos días. Gracias. Buenos días. This is a Milwaukee public school that people want to get into. Buenos días, buenos días. You wouldn't think in Milwaukee, Wisconsin that you would have a Spanish immersion school, but yes. This program has been around for almost 30 years. Language immersion is actually immersing the students in the language, whatever the second language is.
Okay, puede caminar adentro, caminando adentro.
Students are hearing it all the time and using it. It's a different program as opposed to like a bilingual program where those students would be dominant in the other language, in Spanish, for example. The students that come to an immersion program are dominant in an English language and then learn a foreign language. The difference, students learn by doing.
Buenos días, por favor, levántense para saludar y felicitar a la bandera.
Juro fidelidad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Milwaukee Spanish immersion grades are from K4 up to 5th grade.
Nublado, muéstrame nublado. Muy bien.
When you come into K4, you are actually going to get the same curriculum that you would get in any
Alright, so you guys have seen some of that video, and you guys have watched the whole video before, so you've got a taste of it. These schools are very important because being bilingual can help when getting a job in the future. And I got a question for you guys. Have you guys ever been in a situation where, at your work, where there's a person that only speaks Spanish, and what did you do for it?
I work in a family clinic, and we do have quite a few Spanish-speaking patients. Most of them come with an interpreter, but we have had others that just walk in and want to be seen, and we have to try to understand what they need to be seen for. We do have a couple of Spanish-speaking employees that do come up front and help us figure out what they are there for. Most of them do bring an interpreter with them, and we do have an employee that we have on full staff, full time, that is an interpreter. She does work another job, so she can only be there after from 3 o'clock on. So we try to schedule our Spanish-speaking patients for 3 o'clock and after.
Okay, and that's a very good example of why a lot of people should be bilingual. There are more people in the United States that speak Spanish than years ago, and some can't even speak English. As of July 1st, 2012, 53 million Hispanic people lived in the United States. This makes up 17% of the nation's population. The projected Hispanic population of the United States in 2016 is to be 128.8 million people, The Hispanic population will constitute for 31% of the nation's population by this date. The Hispanic population of California is 14.5 million people, which makes California the largest Hispanic population of any state. The Hispanic population of New Mexico is 47%. This means that almost half of the whole population of New Mexico is of Hispanic background. 67% of Hispanics or Latinos 16 and older were in the civilian labor force in 2011. 19% of civilian employed Hispanics or Latinos 16 and older worked in management, business, science, and arts occupations in 2011. There are 1.2 million Hispanics or Latinos 18 and older who are veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. There are about 279 million people in the United States that cannot speak Spanish. And now I'm going to talk to you guys about why we should put younger children in these schools. Children learn better at a younger age because they're taking new things in. You could put a newborn baby from a family that only speaks English and raise them up in a family that speaks only Spanish, and their main language would be Spanish. There are many windows of opportunity from a newborn baby to a kid in middle school. This gives the perfect opportunity for a child to learn 2 languages. This information came from universityofmaine.edu. When people learn a new language during their teen and adult years, they do not understand it as well. For example, when I was in Spanish class for 4 years and was also surrounded by the Spanish language in Spain, after I was done with Spanish class and everything, I started to forget the language because I wasn't using it as much. And I now struggle trying to put sentences together correctly. In conclusion, I talked about what an immersion school is and why children should be enrolled in these schools, people in the United States that do and do not speak Spanish, and why children should be taught at a younger age and not just in high school. Thank you.
Thank you. Is